and welcome to Critical Thinking, Philosophy 11, offered through Long Beach City College. This is the spring of 2016 term. I am your instructor, Professor Vitt. You're looking at a picture of Holmesburg Prison, famed and haunted in the United States. And it's going to be kind of a metaphor for our whole class. And the idea behind critical thinking is very generally that you are better at fooling yourself than anybody else. And if you apply yourself to the curriculum, you'll understand the way in which you can trap yourself in false thoughts and false beliefs, false belief formation processes, and you will walk out of the prison of your own mind. So let's get cracking here. Our governing quote for this class is from Aristotle, a philosopher who read and wrote thousands of years ago. And his quote is, "It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it." And what Aristotle is pointing out there long ago, but it's still relevant today, is that you need to be able to consider an idea on its own merits. You need to be able to look at something and what evidence is there to support it rather than what you already think might be true. The biggest barrier to learning new things is what you already know. You're going to be reluctant to change your mind on things, and it is the goal of this course that you become open-minded and maximize your true beliefs. So let's get started with some of the nuts and bolts before we go too deep into that. This course meets entirely online, so again, there's no physical requirement. Here's my email, rvitt@lbcc.edu. Please email me if you have any questions or concerns. Also, this is my voicemail right here. Please use it. It comes to my email if I'm not in my office, and I'm happy to get back to you. I also have some additional contact information here. I am on Instagram, and I have learned how to message on there a little bit. I'm on Facebook. I do check that periodically. Twitter's probably the best way to get a hold of me on my, if I get it on my phone and I'm at Target, I have no problem answering at Target. Quick questions, happy to answer them on Twitter. I am also on Snapchat. I don't know that I'm terribly good at it, but I am on it, so please feel free to message me there. I know a lot of students use that all the time. So those are some contact information questions. Course catalog description. I'll just briefly run through this here. This class focuses on the improvement of practical reasoning skills. Students will be required to improve their reasoning skills and will learn to detect and avoid common argument fallacies. Students will develop the knowledge and habit needed to make decisions between conflicting ideas and beliefs. Applications are made to both contemporary and perennial issues such as current political events, pseudoscience, Okay, what does that mean? Here's what it means. You can be the greatest athlete in the world, but if you don't understand the fundamentals of how to play a game, you will only get so far, right? So if you look at athletes who have tremendous physical abilities, but they don't have the mental side of their game, they tend to wash out after a year or two, whatever professional sport they're in. This is typically the case. It's a generalization, but it's true, and it works as an analogy for us. Once those physical gifts drop off, then they just can't perform in the game at a very high level. Similarly, with regard to thought, unless you learn the proper ways in which your mind will deceive you, no matter how smart you are, you will never advance beyond a certain point. And so the goal of this class is to teach you not what to think, but how to think. And the way that we do that is we're going to look at so-called anomalous phenomena, or unexplained things. And we're going to learn how to reason when we're dealing with the unexplained. And so if our abilities to form beliefs are well insulated with regard to these crazy outlying cases involving ghosts and Bigfoot and all that stuff, then it'll be fine in dealing with the regular stuff like politics and so forth. So this is a critical thinking class. We do everything you need to do for critical thinking, but we do it within the context of the paranormal. So we look at all sorts of things, ghost stories, and we look at unexplained phenomena, and we look at out-of-place artifacts, and we look at Atlantis and psychics, and we do lots of stuff here. So it's a very fun course, rather than doing this as a course on politics or social issues and so forth. All of the tools are still relevant and interchangeable. It's just the way that we do it. Okay. This is our book, Jonathan Smith, Pseudoscience and Extraordinary Claims of the Paranormal. There's the ISBN. I would encourage you guys, look for it online. I know the publisher sells a PDF of it, and it's pretty reasonable. Okay, course requirements. What do I have to do to get an A, Professor Vitt? Here it is. You're going to take 7 exams at 10% each. You have 1 paper at 20%, and then you have 1 presentation at 10%. So that's 100% added up. Here's our grading policy. This is just straight from Long Beach City College. Nothing special or particular there. Again, my instructor contact information. Oh, note on dropping the course, just so that everybody knows, I don't drop the course for you. So you can't, if you email me and say, hey, I'm dropping the course, that's fine. Go tell admissions and records. I don't process that part of your grade. So just make sure if you got to go through A&R if you want to drop. By telling me you want to drop or you want to add won't be enough. You need to go through them. Okay, class participation, super important. This is an online class, and the way it works is this. Once we go through a module, usually 1 to 3 weeks per module. Once that module is closed, it's closed forever and there's no makeup work. So you're going to have to be able to log in every week, and you're going to have to participate regularly in this class. If you are going to be leaving the country, or you're going to be in a place where you don't have internet access for 4 weeks or something like that, then I would ask that you understand that you're going to miss a substantial portion of the class, and this could dramatically affect your grade. So lots of people want to get into this class. So if you're not able to devote 100% to it or to keep up with the schedule, I would, beg you just to give up your slot to somebody else and then retake it another time. Late modules are not accepted. I used to run this course very differently, and I let students progress at their own pace, but the problem with that is it doesn't exactly fulfill the requirements of an online course. That's number one. That's a different bottle of wax. But number two, people don't do the work until the end. And that doesn't help anybody, because then students say, well, gosh, I got a D in your class. Why didn't you tell me? Well, because you hadn't done any of the work. I had no idea what your grade was, right? So in order for everybody to do as well as possible, I have to structure the class this way. The deadlines are very firm. They're not very mobile, so you have to comply with them. If that is a problem for you, I warn you now. I let you know now. Content disclaimer. This is one of the most important things about this course. Your grade does not depend upon what you believe. So I've had students who tell me, oh yeah, I'm totally into astral projection. This is my thing and I love it, and here's my evidence. Get an A. I have students who say, I don't believe in any of that stuff. It's, get an A, right? As long as you have the roadmap paragraph and you have arguments for and against what you believe, and you have evidence for and against what you believe, and you're aware of cognitive biases and valid argument structures and so forth, great. I can't tell you what to believe, right? I can only tell you how to think. That's all I can do. And I don't grade you whether you believe in Bigfoot or Roswell. I mean, that's just totally irrelevant. What's relevant is your evaluation and your analysis. And that itself doesn't depend upon your belief. So please don't feel like I'm forcing anyone to believe one way or the other on these issues. I just don't have a dog in the fight. My concern is teaching you how to think, and it's my privilege to do it. So if you have any concerns about this, maybe something we're looking at in the course that runs afoul of your worldview, please let me know. Happy to talk to you about it. It's really no problem. Also, there are certain portions of this book that aren't the best, particularly some of the ways that Dr. Smith talks about religions and so forth is probably a little, it's a little too quick, right? And so forth. And so philosophers might take issue with it. So there's some portions of the book we just won't really read. So don't worry about that too much. Internet access. Obviously, this course requires that you have internet access, but this is most important. And I mean this in the nicest way. You cannot email me your assignments. You have to click on the link and then turn it in. I just couldn't run the class with people turning in work by email. So make sure you understand how to use Moodle, how to turn in your assignments. Also, your Moodle account is tied to an email that you've given the school or you've given Moodle. it is a presupposition of this course that you have access to that email every day, because I may need to email you, like just you, and say, hey, Gabriel, we had a problem with XYZ. How is this going to work out? And I need to make sure that Gabriel, this is just a name I picked out of the hat, has access to that email. Okay, academic integrity and plagiarism. This is important. Your work is your own, and I can't be there on the other side of the computer saying, oh yes, this is, John Smith or whatever it is. We just have one real requirement here, is that you comply with the policies and the procedures and the regulations that Long Beach City College has set out. I've cited some of these for you here. My principal concern here is plagiarism. So the words that you write are your own, and I'll give you some more detailed guidance with regard to that when we get to the paper, where that will be more of an issue. Okay, and then I have listed in our syllabus a variety here of student success services. So we have access services and the Student Success Center. We have a Veterans Affairs Office, Career and Job Services Center. Look, I have friends who pay, I have a friend who's paid thousands of dollars to have his resume reviewed, and it's expensive to do that. Long Beach City College will help work with you on it for free, so take advantage of that. It's something that's there for you. If you're a veteran, thank you in advance for your service, and I want to encourage you to contact the Veterans Affairs Office at Long Beach City College if you haven't done so already. And also, access services are great, and I would encourage you guys to contact DSPNS if you have any questions or concerns. Okay, assignments, remember, so I have a sequence of assignments attached to this syllabus. We'll talk about that in a second, but I reserve the right to change that. And that's usually for everyone's benefit, right? We want to make sure that if people are behind or ahead, we can accommodate them. There are no makeup assignments for the course. And this is an online class, but all the standard rules that govern your conduct inside the class will apply here. So we don't want to personally attack anyone or engage in abusive or intimidating behavior. We are in a joint learning environment here, and we want to make sure that everyone feels safe to express their ideas and to learn. When the brain is stressed, when that crocodile part of your brain is activated, it prevents you from forming new memories and making new neural connections, so we want to be collegial and so forth to everyone here. One thing that is certainly true is that you're going to encounter language or ideas that's going to be in conflict with your personal worldview. And this is not because I'm trying to change your worldview, but because I'm trying to educate you. So it's not enough to have our most deeply held beliefs just deeply held, right? I want you to have justification for those deeply held beliefs. That's what's important to me, not what your beliefs are themselves. So in the course of any class, you're going to run into something that, maybe rubs you the wrong way. Just know that that's going to happen, and it's part of the educational process. If this becomes a considerable concern, please let me know, because I want you to feel comfortable learning in the classroom. That's very important to me. Okay, class attendance, you're going to have to log in regularly. This is our tentative course schedule. Couple of big notes. So February the 8th through the 22nd, you're going to read your first two chapters, look at some videos and so forth, and get exam 1 taken care of, and then we move on from there. I open the course modularly, so you can see how it's going to unfold. That covers it for the syllabus. I guess I just throw in one small bit here about me and who I am. I'm a philosophy professor here at Long Beach City College. I used to be an attorney, and I passed the bar the first time, and I was practicing, and I had my own career and so forth. And my wife saw that I really wasn't very happy, and we made the decision as a family to move into philosophy. So I was doing what you were supposed to do. I had a great career, and I was making money and so forth. And I decided to come back to education because I think it's a far more productive force in someone's life, right? I mean, I can help if someone was, a client of mine, then I can help them for 6 months. Maybe I can help them with their, something, a DUI or some type of criminal conviction or some kind of civil case. But in 6 or 7 months, something else is going to go wrong. But with education, I'm able to really give you some tools that will last you the rest of your life. So I feel like on a personal level, I'm able to do a lot more with education than I am able to do with anything else. And so that's why I do it. As a result, I'm really passionate about this course, and I really want my students to learn and get something out of it. And I mean it. So if you have questions or concerns, please email me. And if I haven't gotten back to you within 24 hours, which I usually do, but if I don't, email me again. It is not a bother in any sense of the word. I want to hear from you, and I want to answer your questions and clarify any misunderstandings. So please feel free to email me, because I'm doing exactly what I want with my life. If I would win the lottery tomorrow, I would still be teaching this class. So there's really nothing else I would rather be doing right now. So take advantage of that. And if you want to come by my office at 2353, please go ahead and do so. I love chatting with students. And okay, so that does it. I'm really looking forward to this class. It's one of my favorite to teach, if not my favorite. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to fire me an email, and I'll talk to you guys soon.